That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Kind of a little bit. Sometimes the worlds of technology, social media will kind of, cross-pollinate a bit with our world of entertainment. And that's the situation here. Now, obviously, we're streaming on YouTube, but one of the big social media platforms, of course, is TikTok. I think it was first introduced in 2016. It's become an absolute juggernaut. But then we heard, I guess going on a year ago, that they passed a law saying that TikTok was going to get banned in early 2025, unless the company that owns it, a Chinese entity, sells it. Now, of course, as all things in court do, they appealed that. But according to a news story here in NPR, the appeals court, U.S. Court of Appeals, has just upheld the ban, saying that TikTok is going to be banned. Now, we'll talk about how this interacts with the movie business just a second here, but just to give you the background on this, NPR writes, a federal appeals court on Friday upheld a law banning TikTok nationwide unless the viral video app was sold off by its China-based parent company, rejecting TikTok's claim that the crackdown violates the free speech rights of millions of Americans. In its ruling, the court said that it was precisely because of TikTok's expansive reach that both Congress and the president determined that divesting it from China's control is essential to protect our national security. In its opinion, the court wrote TikTok's ownership by a China-based company, ByteDance, which sounds like a TikTok viral thing in and of itself, represents a national security threat that surpasses the free speech concerns of TikTok risk. Okay, so we've known about this for a while. Who knows how this will ultimately resolve itself? For now, the appeals court has upheld the ban, and China's going to have to sell it if they want it to keep going. We'll see where it goes from here. But where this really becomes interesting for us in the world of entertainment is that as TikTok got bigger and bigger, the movie industry has turned to it more and more. As a matter of fact, even this headline coming out of Deadline back in 2022, how TikTok is fueling Hollywood's marketing campaigns, like Sony's epic pitch for Spider-Man No Way Home. More and more, Hollywood was turning to TikTok to put out their own viral marketing ideas. But even more than that, turning to influencers on TikTok. And even more than that, idiots like me who do this type of programming but on TikTok instead of on YouTube, like they really rely on the organic discussion. They said like 52%, I think it was in this report, of people use TikTok at one point or another, use it to express thoughts and opinions on the entertainment industry. That is something the entertainment industry really relies on. Mm-hmm. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Life 360 Tile Trackers. With the holidays right around the corner, it's all about family, fun, and of course, keeping track of everything while traveling or hosting. For me, that's where Life 360's Tile Trackers are an absolute lifesaver. These little things help keep the holiday stress in check. Whether I'm tracking my keys, wallet, or even our luggage when we travel, Tile Trackers make it easy to keep tabs on everything important. Just open the Tile app to ring it when it's nearby, or track down its location on the map if it's a bit farther. I had mentioned this one time I went to a poker tournament in Vegas, and I keep everything, my wallet, my tablet, and stuff like that, in this satchel backpack of mine, and I thought I lost it. I went crazy for hours until I finally realized I had left it in the car. If I had had Tile Tracker, it would have made my life a lot simpler. And here's one of the things I love about Tile. Tile syncs with Life 360, so I can see the location of my family members and all of our tiled items in one spot. So make your holidays a little less stressful and family-proof your season with Life 360's Tile Trackers. Visit tile.com and use the code Campea to get 15% off. That's tile.com. Use the code Campea. Sean, you and I were talking about this a little bit before the show started, in that it's been a long, hard process for old Hollywood to learn how to pivot to digital. And they've now been doing it a lot, only to feel like maybe a bit of that carpet in digital is being pulled out from under their feet. What does a Hollywood studio, what do distribution companies that are trying to make and market these films, who've probably come to rely more and more on TikTok, if this ban goes through, do they double down on other digital platforms? Do they retreat from the digital field and try to maybe go back to more traditional things, billboards, television, just buying ads on YouTube or something like that? How do you see the entertainment industry being affected if TikTok gets shut down?
Well, it's fascinating because when you first sent me the link, I was like, how does that exactly tie in? And then immediately go, oh yeah, this is how movies are marketed now.
Yeah.
And you think about even big world premieres and things like that. What do? They invite a bunch of influencers to come in,
Yep.
and they're basically hype men for these movies. And it's kind of cheapened sometimes the first reactions to movies because they're just so excited to be there. And now that's in danger. And then you tie into other things like, they design movies at times, sometimes feels to have those viral moments. You think Megan from a couple years back, the Megan
dance scene.
that
Yeah.
like what drove the movie was that, and little songs and trailers become something that people copy the dances and they pivot in that direction. And now that might disappear. My first thought is like, oh man, that's going to mess up the market. The flip side to it is that people still want short form videos. So whether they get them on TikTok or they go over to YouTube, Instagram, Reels, Facebook, that content is still available in other places.
Right.
Like my kids, they're not on TikTok, but they watch shorts on YouTube. So all those creators, it's not like people will stop wanting to see them. So it'll shake things up if it does go through, but all the other platforms still exist for them to just pivot over, the creators to just pivot over there.
So you think that's what the studios will do, like with that fertile marketing ground of TikTok maybe not being available to them? You think they'll just take that energy and effort and transition it over to the other platforms that share short content, stuff like that?
It's one of those ones where you kind of turn the whole playing field upside down, and it's tough to see what'll happen on the other side. But you think all of those creators, like, I know all these people that have 500,000, a million followers, and then they have a small following on YouTube. Like, will that crush their following? Will they transition over? It's just tough to get a read on what exactly will happen, but people love short form content and younger generations are being raised on it. So there's still other places to consume it. So I would assume that there would be a transition just to other platforms.
You know what it just reminds me of a little bit, and Ray, maybe you'll say this isn't as thing, but remember we had, for online gaming, you had Twitch, YouTube to a degree. What was the one Microsoft was behind?
Oh, get a Mixer.
Mixer. Remember they had, then Mixer came out, and like Ninja made a big thing about, I'm going over there, and they got a whole bunch of influencers over there.
Right.
And then it shut down. Well, today it's not even an afterthought, right? Okay, it shut down, whatever. Now, the one little difference between that situation, say something like TikTok, Instagram Reels, is that TikTok is arguably, when it comes to short form content, the biggest player. So I guess in the gaming realm, it would have been as if Twitch shut down instead of Mixer. But who knows? Maybe it'll just be like Sean is saying, it's just going to be a little bit of a bump, and everybody will just migrate over.
Yeah, there's going to be another TikTok then. If this
Well,
one's gone, there'll be another one.
I think before TikTok, wasn't it Snap?
Snap.
And
you know,
stuff like that.
Snap one?
Everyone's
Yeah.
You talking about Snapchat?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Well, there's Snapchat, but then there was something else that was like TikTok that you could like put up 6-second clips.
Oh, Vine.
Vine.
Oh, Vine, yeah.
Vine.
I
yeah.
remember, oh my God. So we were still at AMC, and I had the
And the chat
execs
goes
at
wild with
AMC every freaking day tell me, John, you got to make Vines. You got to make Vines. I'm like, you can't do movie news in Vines. And they're like pushing and pushing and pushing. 4 months later, it was gone. Listen, I'm not the right guy to ask about the newest. I still have a MySpace account, so
Nice.
take that for what
How's
it is.
Tom?
Do? Can you add me?
Can I be one of your favorite
Yeah,
eight?
top friend.
Yeah, what it was, a top 8, top 6?
Yeah,
Whatever.
say hi
I'm
to
going to
Tom for me.
reopen mine just to join yours.
Anyway, true story. I worked for the guy who created MySpace for a while.
Huh.
Yeah, it turns out he was an asshole.
Oh. Shout out to MySpace creator, whoever your name is.
Shout out to MySpace.
Before
Anyway.
before that was Friendster.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this whole situation? Like, specifically, how if this like ban of TikTok goes through, which is used by so many people, and it's something that the movie industry's come to kind of rely on. How does the movie industry pivot? Will they pivot back to like older systems of marketing, or will they just pivot to those other platforms that Sean was talking about? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.